Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Boruto anime review. This one's going to be for episode 81, which is called Boruto's Wish. And yeah, I think it's pretty fair to say this was on the weaker side of episodes that I think the series has put out so far. This arc, I think in general, has been a little up and down. This was definitely more of a down episode. I thought the Inojin and the little Akuta was actually a pretty fun little subplot, in that they managed to make that Akuta into a pretty interesting little character. And I think just to get across the idea that this form of synthetic humans made from, I suppose, living Earth, they have intelligence. Like, this one seemed to learn a little bit from Inojin, and it's suggesting maybe that everyone should, I suppose, reinterpret how they feel about the other guys, and they might end up kind of learning something about just artificial humans and just the significance of, treating them with respect in the same way you treat normal people. I haven't quite got to that point yet, but I think it served that point, I think, in general, that now they have this example of proof everywhere to show everyone that this is what the problem is, but there's maybe a positive side to that. And I think maybe by the end of this, we could get to this idea where, like, it seems like maybe the villains are trying to perfect this jutsu for bad reasons, but maybe once it's all said and done, they may just solve this jutsu and stabilize it, if not just to save the lives of these new living beings and stopping them from dying, just because the jutsu is kind of incomplete. I could see them doing something like that. I think that's potentially one of the themes of the arc that they're building towards. As for the rest of the episode, I get what they were trying to do with the whole Boruto and Garga plot, and Boruto basically in his mind while he's unconscious, acting like Mitsuki's always there, and basically running away from the fact that Mitsuki attacked him and that it's not going to be a simple thing to resolve at all. Garga, I think, explained it relatively well by just saying you try to run away from your feelings, you try to act as if you weren't actually hurt by it, you try to completely avoid everything to protect your soul. And in the end, Boruto does accept that, kind of thanks to Garga in a way pointing this out, that this isn't the way that Boruto should be acting in this situation, and he goes past that, of course. I think it was just an example of an episode that, like, the content within this episode really had no business filling in a full episode. This was like half an episode at most, and they really stretched it out to make it a full episode. And it feels weak because there's a lot going on in this arc. There is. There's stuff going on back at the Stone Village, and of course we're heading there next. That's what the preview for next episode is, and we're going to meet Onoki again. And that's really cool. Next episode, I think, looks like it will be actually pretty fun. It'll get us back on track, potentially. But this is a very long arc, and it feels like they're really stretching it out with episodes like this. In that, like, at a really basic level, like, did Boruto learn a lesson from Garga? Like, the whole idea of him trying to protect himself from feeling hurt, like, I don't really think that's, like, too significant of a thing where, like, oh, Boruto learned a lesson in this episode to kind of hit things head on. I think he's already been like that to a degree. So my takeaway from this episode is basically just that here was a little stumbling stone for Boruto. Here was something to stop him from just relentlessly going on. One thing that would truly ask him to question if he should continue going after Mitsuki. And it seemed like potentially he might have. But what he takes away from what Garga says is that he should continue to go on. And he just, when he gets up, he is committed 100% to getting Mitsuki back. And I suppose the biggest takeaway probably is the wording that Boruto uses right at the end, in that we're straight away into, I think, heavy Naruto territory here of, I will get, Sasuke Mitsuki back even if I have to basically beat him up. Because I feel he's taken the wrong path, but I think there are hints that even though he's saying it's his own will, he clearly doesn't disagrees with them. And I like the point that he made of just, if not just because the people that he's with tried to hurt our comrades, and we know that Mitsuki, the one thing he did do was stop them from being killed. So he still, in a way, considers the people of the Leaf Village to be comrades to a degree, and he's helping this group out for a reason. Sekie and so on. He's helping them for a reason, and he's obviously conflicted over what his will is and is not, and he's, I suppose, testing the limits of, I suppose, how much free will he has. But still, he didn't kill those Leaf Village people. He didn't kill Boruto, even though potentially he could have. He just knocked him out, and it was a significant enough of a thing for like Sarada and Boruto to doubt Mitsuki a lot, but it still remains that Boruto is kind of choosing to place a lot of faith on the fact that he did leave something behind. He didn't kill the people that the people he was leaving with were choosing to kill. If he had fully defected, why would he have any problem? If he's leaving the Leaf Village for good, why would he have a problem with basically killing a guard who he realistically doesn't know? It's not like close friends of Mitsuki's were the guards. So Boruto's placing a lot of effort there on the fact that, even though Mitsuki said it, I think deep down he's not telling us something, and that there is a sense of, he's here for a reason, and that's something he has to solve, but we're taking him back, even if that means I have to beat him up. And I think that's a cool idea, because like I think Mitsuki and Boruto, them actually having a proper fight, that's actually something I'm really looking forward to in this arc now, because I think next time they meet, like, that's kind of the way you have to do it. I think you can do a kind of pseudo Naruto Sasuke style fight of just, the people who are actually best friends but maybe have a little bit of a misunderstanding actually just have this fight over what's happened. I think it could actually work out really well for their friendship to obviously do the whole thing of getting to know each other better by kind of, clashing. Is obviously one of the themes of original Naruto, of just like you can sense what someone else is feeling through obviously like their fists as like you fight kind of type thing. So that as a setup, I think, is actually quite cool. Obviously the plot within the Stone Village with Kurotsuchi captured and so on, that's I assume is going to have to come out in the next episode when they find Onoki and so on, but we'll see exactly how they go about doing the exact details of the plot. So I think that was good to just, even though I don't think it was the most like significant, like, oh, this was an amazing arc that Boruto had to go through, a real like important thing for his character, doubting stuff. I think they got him to a point where it like felt okay, that he's still committed and he's doubling down on this. He wants to still show Garga that there is hope, that Garga shouldn't just give up on trusting people, because that's the way Garga is right now. He still believes, Garga more or less says that like, you'll just wake up and you'll be waiting for your other friends to betray you next after what's just happened. But Boruto is going to really try and convince Garga that despite all that's happened, he can still believe and hopefully teach that to Garga. So, there's a lot of little things going on here, but for the most part, that was the episode. A little side plot with the baby Akuta and Inojin and Boruto and Garga. That was like the entire plot of this episode. There really wasn't a lot to it. I really feel you could have fit in like a cutaway to Mitsuki, to Sekie, and so on, just to catch us up with what's going on. But if you're going to the Stone Village next, I get maybe why you want to do this. This episode just ended up feeling pretty light on content. So it's not an episode I can rate overly highly. It was still like enjoyable. I'm still enjoying the potential that this arc has, but there have definitely been episodes where it's kind of failed to deliver on the level where I've expected it to. So, that's my thoughts on this episode. So in the comments, let me know what your thoughts were on the episode. But, that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.